Welcome back to the Ben Breakfast Show. Well, hope you're enjoying the morning show this morning, and it's a lovely sunny day as usual here in London. I don't know where you are. Well, it's now time to take on our guest, Ibiyemi Alabi. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Absolutely.
You know, I've been practicing to pronounce Nigerian names, but I think I'm doing well. I think the ones I struggle with are the ones that have 25 letters, where I have to, mention them in brackets. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for coming to the studio. And you're here this morning to talk about passion for African fashion. I just like that lyric. If it was a rap song, it would make so much sense. Passion for African fashion, yo. Right. Well, first, before we talk about your event that will be in Liverpool, that's right. Just in one sentence or two, tell us what led you to decide to choose fashion as a career.
I didn't start off in a career with fashion. I have a background in economics, and like every other person, did the academic side of things. Or eventually, I found myself where I used to sell apparels from all different countries, and I used to design a lot of different women clothing as well. And just as I continued doing that, I started to wear African prints, and I got a lot of compliments from people. So it was just a thought of, okay, why, selling different apparels from different countries? I could bring that into my own culture as well and promote I just love, my roots. I love originality, and I like to promote Africa. So I started to promote Africa through fashion.
All right. And what was your first outfit that you designed, and what boosted you and motivated you to say, let me take this out to the market?
Right, because what I do is I look at the, let's say, westernized designs, and I then convert it into, making them with African prints. So I had this coat that I made, which is more or less like a jacket, which was made from African prints, and a lot of people loved it when I wore it. So I'm thinking, instead of having to wear all these high street designs, and I can actually make this from African fabrics, and that was how it went for me, and it's been absolutely amazing.
Interesting, Ibiyemi. Talking of high street designs, that leads me to my next question. Because my question is, firstly, I love your outfit.
Oh, thank you.
It looks very, very, very lovely. Very unique. I'm sure the viewers at home will agree with me. But then let's talk of the high street, okay? Your wardrobe, I'm sure, I cannot come into your wardrobe to see what's there. But tell us your wardrobe. Is it filled with African outfits, or it's filled with Marks & Spencer, DKNY, Cherut? Because I hear a lot of, including myself, Africans, we say, let's support African fashion. But then when you open somebody's wardrobe, it's got more Western clothes than African clothes. So what's your wardrobe like? Mostly
African print. I would say 98% of what I wear is African print. So that's what I do mostly. You would hardly find me, well, in the past few years, I've been wearing prints, and I love it. And if you agree with me, African print is taking over now. Most people wear African prints now. A lot of Africans are beginning to believe in themselves more, be proud of who they are.
All right, before we talk about the event, we're here to talk about your event, but I'm so intrigued with your website. When we read your website with the production team yesterday, some inspiring stuff. So, like, now, material, right? I don't know how fashion is made. I just wear the clothes, okay? So, like, where do you get your material from, and how's the processing, the manufacturing of these outfits? Do you have to spend so much on operational costs? Tell us more.
Well, I get most of my fabrics from Nigeria, which is where I'm from. We sometimes get it from here as well, but it does work out cheaper in terms of production and all that. It's made obviously in Nigeria as well. I do the designing, and I have people who are working back office for me and producing the clothing. So yeah, it works out a lot more cost effective that way. So the fabrics most of the fabrics are from Nigeria.
All right. Okay. Lastly, what have you achieved so far in the selling your outfits? Is there a story that we don't know? Share with us.
In terms of, you know, the African friends, I have, well, business, you know, initially when you start, it's normal process for you to go through the ups and downs. But, you know, gradually with a lot of dedication and hard work, I believe.
We want to learn from the downs. And what were the downs?
You know, it's not easy sometimes, you know, for a lot of people, like myself, I used to wear a lot of high street designers before I switched as well. Trying to convince people, you know, sometimes that you can, in this environment where you have a lot of, you know, different background culture, to convince them you can actually come out and look good. A lot of people feel that you know, in the past you can only wear your prints in the house or to church and stuff like that. So to go out to parties, dinner, top events in your African prints, it was a bit of a process to try and convince people. You need to wear it yourself, let them see how beautiful it looks. And so it was a lot of, I used to, when I do my photo shoots, used to do like a lot of changing, you know, just to show people how beautiful it is. I never used any model. Most of the time I was wearing it myself, so they would be able to see what it would look like on me and, you know, appreciate it.
Fantastic. Well, we've got African Fashion Week, which I think is growing tremendously. What do you think of African Fashion Week?
Oh, I think it's an absolutely amazing event which brings together a lot of African designers as well, showcasing people from different African backgrounds. And yeah, it's an amazing event, fantastic.
All right, brilliant. Well, let's look at the event. Let's not forget the event. Tell us about this event. What is this event about, the passion for African fashion? What's this event that you'll be hosting in Liverpool?
Passion for African Fashion, which is PAFASH 2018, is to promote, highlight, and educate Africa's creative industry. It's an event that would showcase the high-end established designers and emerging designers. You know, give them an opportunity to showcase their creativity to a large global audience. So we're having highlights of the day. We're having, you know, it'll be a combination of a catwalk and a trade show, where we also have people who have different businesses who are coming together to showcase the businesses on that day. We have the exhibition side of things before we then start the runway show. We have live installation, African Afro Air Show as well. Live performances, so it's a day that's packed full of a lot of interesting activity.
All right, quite a lot of people nowadays, when I talk to people, everyone is talking about you need to open different streams of income. You need to do a lot of networking. So I'm sure people want to come to this event and do a bit of networking. But they'll be more keen as well to know these businesses you've mentioned that are coming. What sort of businesses are coming? Would you mention any type of businesses or names?
We have designers coming from outside of the UK. We have Vanels coming from Netherlands. Ruthie Clothing is coming all the way from Abuja. We have all different businesses in the UK, you know, fashion, as long as it's, you know, within the African fashion and beauty industry, we are showcasing. We just want people to come and see the beauty of Africa.
All right, and of course, on your flyer, you've also mentioned networking. That would be an opportunity to network. But I should be honest that I've attended quite a few of the African Caribbean events. There's one I attended that said it's a very posh dinner and lunch. Oh, it was a luncheon, a very posh luncheon. It's networking. But then I got there, African time. Of course, it was starting at 2 in the afternoon, and it ended up starting at 4. And the venue was only booked up to 7, so there wasn't any time for networking. Right? So tell us more about networking. Have you set a time for networking? Because I think networking is a very imperative thing in today's world.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've put all that into consideration. The event starts at 12 p.m. noon. Free admission as well. So this is a strategy to bring a lot of people in on that day. So red carpet networking, give people have the opportunity to network, speak to one another, get ideas, share, co-create, innovate, you know, on that day before we then start the main show. So we have about 2-3 hours where we're giving to a lot of people to come in, network, you know, patronize the exhibitors before we then go to the main show of the day, which will be the runway show.
All right, okay. Well, my challenge here as a presenter is to get people on set like you. What's been your challenge as well so far in the fashion industry?
Well, In the fashion industry, is you know, as you must believe that you would know that fashion is continuously changing dynamics.
How is it changing? Tell us more.
You know, you're wearing this today, tomorrow is a new set of design coming out. So you need to keep up the standard.
Up the game.
You need to up your game. That's the word. You need to up your game all the time. You need to know what's on. You need to know what's trending. You need to, you know, be you know, as things move, you need to move with it as well. So yeah, I can call it quite challenging because you're coming up with this design, and before you know it, another design is coming up. People want to move when people want to wear things that are trending, so you need to obviously be in line with what's happening out there.
All right, well, still talking about the event in Liverpool, what other attractions have we got? Are there any musicians coming, dancers, any other attraction, anybody that we know that's going to be in attendance? They don't have to be somebody that we know, but they might be somebody that has something to showcase that it should never be missed.
Yeah, we do have, the host of the event is the popular fashion expert, Adebayo Jones, the king of couture. He will also be showcasing his collection on the runway on that day. We have Kwame Korantang, we have the Van Nels coming from Netherlands. Confirmed guest of honor on that day will be the Nigerian High Commissioner. Yeah, we have live performances. We have the global cultural icon, and you're the first will be present as well. And we have a lot of the Central Association of Nigeria community leaders who will be attending as well.
Well, live performances is something everyone likes, especially on a Saturday afternoon in summer like this. Who's performing? We
have Anyo the first performing. We have Dami from London, Liverpool, who will be singing as well. So we have dancers. Anyo the first will be doing the talking drum just to infuse a bit of African into it as well. So yeah, we have a lot of that being planned for that day.
All right, brilliant. Well, what is your best part of being a fashion designer? You know, the best part of me being a TV presenter, I think, is talking to lovely people like you. I think everyone loves their job for a particular reason. Why do you love fashion?
I just love creativity. I love, you know, it's not about dressing, you know, to go out there. It's about the uniqueness. I like to be unique. I like to stand out in anything I wear. I always say to people, it's not about, you know, making that dress to be, you know, making it beautiful. It's about the uniqueness. It's about the way you carry it. It's about the way you step out there. You know, I can't be wearing the same thing with you, but it comes across differently to other people. So I like to be unique. I like to, you know, step out there and people would look like, yeah, you know, she's wearing African print, but she's wearing it differently.
Right, okay, still brilliant. We're still talking on the event on, what date is the event actually?
It's August the 18th, live in Liverpool, the Britannia Adelphi Hotel, between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m.
All right, brilliant. Brings me to the next question. Africans, of course, and friends of Africa, what do you think it's going to take for us to have African outfits on the high streets? And I'm sure they are on the high street, but I mean on the high street, in Selfridges, in various shops. Like people now like me, instead of wearing suits for board meetings, we're wearing African design. If I'm working for Barclays Bank and I went in my African shirt for a corporate meeting, I'm sure Mr. ABCD will say, John mate, you can't come in that shirt, go wear a suit. But when do you think things will change where people appreciate that, no, this is a suit, this is an African suit?
Well, it does start with individuals. You know, it depends on you believing in what you know, believing in yourself, appreciating your culture. I don't see any reason why you would appear in your African suits and, you know, they would say to you that you're not allowed. It's got to do with you. And a lot of people don't have that confidence yet to go out there and, you know, show people who they are, which is the reason why, you know, one of the visions for the show is we're trying to encourage people, urge people to appreciate themselves. Whatever vicinity you find yourself, be proud to showcase who you are, proud to tell people that I'm African. I'm not ashamed to be African.
Okay, and others have still said, because I love these shirts, I'll be honest with you. I've got loads of them in my wardrobe. Well, not loads, but I've got a good number that I could change 7 days a week, 7 different ones. But then some of my friends or colleagues have said, well, they're too expensive, but then I still see them going to spend £80 on Armani shirt or T-shirt. What message do you have to those that say, we want to support this fashion, but they're just too expensive?
I mean, if anything that's quality, obviously you should be willing to pay for it. If you're wearing an Armani shirt, for instance, and you go out for an event, you could find about 10 other people wearing exactly the same. If I'm designing a shirt for you, you know, there's that very tiny chance of you wearing exactly the same thing with anybody. So you're going there looking different, standing out, so you should be able to pay for what, you know, having to go out there and look and stand out unique. So it's not coming across extremely more expensive than the high street designers. It's just that people don't believe they've got to pay for African prints as much as they pay for the high street designs.
All right. Well, still, before I come back to the other thing is we've seen an influx of now, not just with African fashion. I met an English friend not long ago who is a DJ, is a top, like, UK DJ, and he said, well, you know what? The best thing that's happening now in music is Afrobeats. I'm trying to get into Afrobeats. And then I was reading not long ago that now fashion, they are westernized companies, designers in America who are now using the African fabric. What does that mean? What does that tell us as Africans?
It tells, I mean, as Africa, I believe that is saying to us that, you know, still the same thing. Let's be proud of our roots. Let's be proud of who we are. You know, don't look down on yourself. Don't think that, you know, you can't promote who you are in any environment you find yourself. You need to stand tall and, you know, be able to, you know, showcase where you're from. Vanessa, who is coming to showcase at the, you know, at the fashion show, she's not Nigerian, she's not African. So, you know, but she does African prints.
All right. I'll rephrase the other same question that I asked, that, you know, those that sell African print, they say selling African print is too costly. Do you think it's a ripoff?
Absolutely not. Because if you're getting quality, I don't think it's a ripoff. If you don't think buying an Armani shirt at an expensive price is a ripoff, I don't think, you know, you spending decent money on an African print shirt would be a ripoff, because you will be getting, you know, you will be going out there looking good and standing out, be unique, because you're not going to, you know, there's a very slim chance of you finding somebody who will be wearing exactly the same as you. So, you know, I don't want to believe, you know, it's too much to pay.
You know, when I mentioned that, I was talking about Stella McCartney,
yeah?
who sells an African print, and, you know, it's too costly. So, I mean, I still want to hear, do you think she's right? Do you think it's a ripoff? Do you think McCartney is...
To be honest, for the designs and what she's put out there is outrageous. It's extremely...
It's outrageous.
That is extremely expensive. That was close to £2,000 it was. Yeah, I would say... Well, but for the class of people who will patronize her, we're looking from our side of things, you know, class of people that will buy those, it might come cheap to them.
Well, of course, designers are designers, brands are brands, but then this is not a debate. But then what about those who are going to say, well, you can't sell the same price with Armani. Armani has been there for years. Armani is a big brand. You are only starting today or yesterday. Why should your prices be at £60 for this lovely shirt or dress, whilst I'm getting the same Armani for £45 or £50, and it's a bigger brand? Well, what do you have to say to, you know, people that come up with their personal opinions like that?
Right. Branding it's got to do with it starts with yourself, the way you position your you know, your products to people. So for people who believe that because some names are out there and they believe they should be charging more for exactly the same because you're upcoming, I think is, you know, I think is unfair, because everyone has, you know, put in a lot of work into what they do. They put in not only, you know, they put in effort, they put in money, they put in a lot of passion into what they do. So putting everything together, you know, you come up with a price. This is what I want to charge for what I've done, and I feel this is what it's worth. And you know, people then try to talk you down. I think no, it's not acceptable. It's something that, you know, it's your personal choice. You know what you've put into what you're producing.
All right, still back to the show. You've got the runway show as well at the event. Tell us more about the runway show.
Yeah, so for the runway part of things, we have different designers, not only cloth designers, we have hair designers, we have accessory designers, hat designers as well, showcasing their collection on the runway. So it's be all different designers on the runway, not just clothing.
All right, and the actual show, what will be being displayed? I mean, firstly, I'll ask you. I mean, you've got a lovely dress there, of course.
Thank you.
But then, what about us men? Do you do men's shirts?
Yeah, we have men designers coming. I said Kwame Corrington will be showcasing as well.
No, but yourself, do you have?
I have men's range as well, but I will be doing women's and kids on that day for my brand.
Oh, kids, that's lovely as well.
Yeah, so we are trying to get the kids involved as well. So just to encourage a lot of our African children to believe in themselves as well. And a lot of them don't want to wear African clothes, so we're trying to get them involved as well.
All right, so there's also this thing of every weekend I'm out, especially now in the summer, having chicken wings and Guinness and debating about corruption in Africa and saying, hey, we Africans need to support each other, But then African designers, do you think African designers support each other? I mean, in your experience, tell us your experience or your observation. Maybe you support other African designers. Or maybe within your network you support each other. But then what do you think generally, just a general outlook, do you think African designers are doing much to support each other?
Well, in my opinion, having been in the African industry for a while doing fashion, I haven't had any personal issues with where, I go out there to support a lot of people. And, since this is the very first of this event in Liverpool. It's the maiden version of it, and I have gotten a lot of support, to be honest, from the designers. So going out as well to support people, I meet with other designers who are coming on board to support. So it's been a lot of working together in the African industry in terms of fashion. So yeah, I'm quite impressed with that, to be honest.
All right, of course, what can be done again in terms of Africans? I mean, of course, you seem to be international, like you talk to everybody from your personality. But then what about those that stick to their own countries? What can be done for us to have? Because the only platform we have is London Fashion Week, which puts all Africans or African Caribbeans, people interested in that, together. What more can be done in terms of putting African fashion designers together? Because there are those that are in Nigeria, those that are in Zambia, those that are in Malawi, Ghana, that cannot make it to the UK, that cannot have their material showcased. What do you think can be done from your experience?
Well, I think that in terms of this show is set to obviously showcase all different, not just Nigerians, all different African countries as well. When this kind of shows have been established, I don't see any reason why people can plan to take it to different countries as well, where you give upcoming designers, people who don't have the opportunity to travel abroad because I want to believe the African Fashion Week London also have a Nigerian version as well, where they do African fashion show in Nigeria. So I mean we can plan to do fashion shows, not particularly in the UK, travel to all the different countries as well to establish things like this, where we encourage the upcoming designers to also get involved and showcase their creativity.
I'll tell you what, Ibiyemi, when I came to the UK, my uncle took me to Brixton when I used to be JJC. Johnny, Johnny just come. Yeah, he took me to Brixton and he told me, this is London, this is Brixton, this is how close you can get to Africa, right? So there's a majority of Africans in London than Liverpool. Do you intend to bring this show ever to London? Tell us more.
In the future, yes. We have only started Passion for African Fashion in Liverpool because that is where I live. So, let's bring together the African community. It doesn't mean that the show is only open to Africans. We want everyone and everybody to get involved. We also want to show every other person that, we want the white people, everyone, the brown people, we want everyone to come in and see the beauty of Africa. So once we've done that in the vicinity where I live, then we can then take it to other cities in the UK as well, just for people to appreciate,
All right, other people say, well, I've lived in Manchester, but I'm not sure about that. But it's people's opinions. They've said people that, or Africans who live further than Birmingham can be a bit, not skeptical, but then because of the culture there, they become a bit more westernized, more British than us in London. How has it been like putting people together, advertising for the show in Liverpool, putting the Africans together?
I would say it hasn't come very, easy for me because I live in Liverpool, but most of the time I am in London from one event or show or the other. But, you know, through adverts like this, TV adverts, social media has helped a lot as well, where a lot of people have been the ones contacting us to inquire about the event, the website, our social media handles. So it's been a process, but yeah, eventually we got there with people there as well. So yeah, a lot of people now are coming on board from Liverpool, where we initially started with people outside of Liverpool showing interest. And when, they saw that a lot of people...
Right, I'll just stop you there. Well, we'll just round up now. Thank you so much for joining us on the breakfast show. Wish you the best in this particular show. We'll flash on the details for the show in Liverpool. Otherwise, from me, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's been absolutely amazing being on this show. Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it. And to all the viewers as well, I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. God bless.
Thank you. Well, that was Ibiyemi talking to us about our upcoming Passion for Fashion show in Liverpool. Details will be up on the screen. For now, I'll take a quick break, and when we come back, the breakfast show continues. Stay where you are.